21 years of age, and I make around $20,000 every single month.
If possible, could you tell me a bit more what are your income streams? Because I heard that it's not agency only.
Yeah, 100%. So there's two different ways that I sort of do things. So, and we can obviously get to this later on in the episode, but I run a software business using a company called High Level, and that would be that's the main income stream, of course. And then the other one then is the actual coaching model with High Level. So I have a partnership with High Level where I'm able to,
Mm-hmm.
coach people exactly how to do it, how to sell different features of High Level, how to set it up, and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much the two ways that I'm able to, make a living and,
Okay.
live from the laptop.
So you're pretty young. I say this as a 19-year-old, and
Yeah.
and you make a lot of money. So I would like to ask you about your story. How did you begin? How did you stumble upon this? What were your struggles? What else did you try?
Okay, yeah. So taking it back a few years before I found anything to do with High Level or any of that kind of stuff, I think everyone's tried this, but back in the day, I tried setting up a drop shipping store. I think drop shipping is one of those business models where you see a lot about it online, but it's from what I experienced anyway, it's not really all that. Didn't really find much success with drop shipping. I think there's a saying in the industry to make 30K with drop shipping, you need to spend 30K on ads. So it's one of those business models where you need a bunch of money to spend on ads, either that or you need to be very, very good at viral content marketing. So you need to, make a bunch of clips on TikTok and all these different platforms and really have them going viral. Which I obviously knew absolutely nothing about and didn't have the money to even run the ads. So then I gave the agency model a go. I was running an SMMA for a little while.
And how old
It
are
was
you when you
going good.
started?
I had just turned 18. I just
Oh,
turned 18 whenever I was
nice.
doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
So about two and a half, 3 years ago, I just turned 21. Ran the agency for a little while. I was working with car dealerships, primarily doing content creation. So, anytime a car dealership would get, like a new car in stock or something like that, I would be the guy that does the infographic and, we got this in stock and this in stock, you know what I mean? So then ran that for a little while, but then to be honest, it wasn't the most I was looking for something more, I guess, passive. You know what I mean? I don't really think that word really exists when it comes to online business, but I was looking for the most passive thing that I could possibly run. And that is when I found a sort of a feature, and this was before High Level. Um, I found a thing called reputation management where I could sell businesses on the fact that I can get them more positive Google reviews online, but hide and internalize any negative reviews. So it was actually another platform that I was using before High Level. I'm not going to mention the platform. And then one day I was scrolling online, found High Level online, and I was like, my God, this does absolutely everything. It does what I'm already doing. It does all the reputation stuff, but a bunch more. It got the websites, the automations, the calendars, all the AI stuff. It's a pretty crazy tool. You know what I mean? So then once I found that, I canceled absolutely everything else and just went all in with High Level, and I haven't really looked back at all since then. You know.
Okay. Okay. So I have two questions. First of all, how did you get your first car detailing like client? How did it go? I'm just
Yeah.
curious. And also, how did you get your first software as a service client, like Google Reputation Management? So if you could
Yep.
tell those two stories, how did it go?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Perfect. So it's actually a bit of an interesting one. So for the car dealership, it was my first client for that was like a really, really small car dealership. Like, I mean, the guy was pretty much himself just running it, and he might get, one or two cars in stock every few weeks, you know what I
And
mean?
how
Just like a
much did you charge at the beginning?
I was literally making like £200 a month or something like that. It
Okay,
was like
okay.
very, very, very small. And how I found him, I was cold calling. So I had a bunch of car dealerships that I wanted to get through, started cold calling them all. And yeah, this guy just sort of gave me a chance. He was like, let's have a call, see what you can do, whatever. And to be honest, I think the guy sort of signed me out of pity because he could sort of tell that I was just starting out and everything. So he was like, yeah, let's do it, let's see. And I guess
Okay.
that was what sort of changed it for me because I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to online business. A lot of people don't, a lot of people see a lot of things online. They see, people living this crazy lifestyle and making all this money and everything. they don't really know how real it is until you actually make a bit of money online for yourself. You know what I mean? I agree. I see a lot of stuff and I'm like, you used to think, that's a complete scam, but until you're actually in it and you are making money, it's, that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Then in terms of like my first client for reputation management, it was a local beauty salon, and I literally walked into the business, and that's sort of one of the big outreach methods that I do teach is like door to door. So walking into businesses, walked in, and to be honest, she had also, she was more so just believing in the fact that it was me. Like she knew me, she knew my family and everything. So then, she was like, yeah, let's try it out for a little while, and yeah, she did, and that was it. And that was like, that was the start of sort of the upward spiral for me. You know what I mean?
Jason, I would like to ask you one also very important thing. A lot of people like get these promises of getting first client in like a week, in 30 days, in whatever, and I just ask, pretty much try to ask all the guests I have from now on, like how long did it take for you to get your first client? So for example, that car dealership guy, how long were you cold calling? How long was the hustle?
So I got really lucky with the beauty salon. That was actually the first business that I had ever walked into. So
Okay, nice,
on
nice.
average, yeah, like on average, when it comes to selling door to door, on average, you're going to get a 1.4 to 2.8% conversion rate. So, for every 100 businesses you walk into, you can expect to close around two or three of those. First one I walked into, I signed them. I was like, oh my God, I have a
Nice, nice.
100% 100% conversion rate here. You know what I mean?
100%
On the other
success,
side,
yeah.
then, yeah, it was the SMMA. So that car dealership, I had been cold calling for a few weeks at that point, and to be
Mm-hmm.
honest, it was getting very, it was just getting difficult because when you're putting in so much work and you're reaching out to so many businesses and no one's even picking up the phone or no one's giving you the chance, it really does get
Yes, yes.
overwhelming and you're like, oh my God, this is just,
I feel
am
you.
I going to have to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life? But yeah, luckily that was the start of it. And to be honest, it wasn't much. Like I said, it was like £200 a month, but that's all I needed to give me that, that burst of motivation to be like, right, this works. Let's go all in here and let's do it.
And also, I'm really asking about your beginnings, but because it like fascinates me how people get into this. So, for example, what made you take that leap of faith of, giving like a few weeks to cold call or stuff like that? Like, did you heard what your friend was doing a lot of money, or did you see it online? Like, what was the mindset shift? What
So,
made you like this?
you know, I think a lot of people listen to podcasts like this, and a lot of people, ask questions like that, and they expect to get this like, oh, I had like a really, not a good upbringing, and all this kind of
Yes.
crazy stuff going on in the house. I didn't have that, to be honest, bro. My motivation was just seeing a bunch of guys online making a ton of money, being able to do whatever, go wherever, and just live wherever they want. That's all where the motivation came from for me. Like you could ask a lot of people that, and you're going to get a lot of different answers, but to be honest, it was just the fact that, there's people out there making 10, 20, 50,000 a month. Why can't I do that? You know what I mean? You know?
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
also a pretty also beginner oriented question. How did you close your salon person without any proof of concept that it works? Like without any testimonials, reviews.
Yeah.
What
So
did you do?
that's the good thing about the high level model is because it's not a direct agency that you're running. Like I wasn't doing content creation for her. I wasn't doing paid advertising for her. Software as a whole, as long as the software is coded and you can see that it works, it's very easy to sell because you don't really need any past results. You just need to do a very good demo. You just pull out your laptop in front of them and be like, listen, whenever someone submits this form, they receive this email. It takes them to this page. They click either one, two, three, 4 or 5 stars reviews. If they click either 4 or 5 stars, it takes them to Google or whatever platform to leave a positive review. But if they click one, 2 or 3 stars, it takes them to an internal feedback form. Um, the proof is there. The proof is in the demo, and that's all that you really need whenever it comes to selling, reputation management or selling websites or something like that. You know what I mean? Think about if you were to go and reach out to a business and be like, I designed you a website. They're not really going to say, all right, well, send over some website you've already done. What they're going to say is, all right, show me the website that you've just made for me. You know what I mean? Because like if the proof is there and it's a good website, they're going to take you on and they're going to, if money works out and everything aligns, they're probably going to work with you on that website.
Yes, yes. Okay. And talking about reputation management itself, I'm asking this from personal experience, and I asked you this before podcast. But as I understand, Go High Level was created initially for the U.S. market, and that's why I think when numbers like phone numbers are cheap, like SMS are cheap, everything is
Yes.
very cheap. And
Yes. Yeah.
you know, it costs a lot to send SMS messages from other countries, like especially
Yep.
in my country. I believe in yours too. So how did you work around that? How much did you charge? How did the money make sense? If you know what I'm asking, like you
Yeah.
get caught up in fees and
So
stuff like that.
that's a big thing for the clients in Europe. You know, people like me, people in Ireland, UK, Lithuania, where you're from, it's like the phone numbers cost a lot, the text messages cost a lot, the phone calls cost a lot. To be honest, whenever I was doing this, in Ireland, there wasn't really any Irish numbers available
Mm-hmm.
inside of Twilio. So Twilio is like the phone provider that we use. So I had to just get a UK phone number, and that's what I had to do. The UK phone numbers, if you compared the cost and like the text message cost and everything like that, it was half that of Irish numbers, anyways. Um, so yeah, I do agree that a lot of countries, whenever they're trying to get like virtual phone numbers online, it does cost quite a bit. Luckily, a few months back, High Level got a WhatsApp integration, and what that means is instead of charging, per text message and everything, it's instead it's charged per conversation. So if, for example, I messaged you and you messaged me back within 24 hours, if we message each other every 23 hours, for example, it's not going to cost anything extra. It's only going to cost a few cents or whatever. So that got my SMS bill alone down from $50 a day, $50 a day on credits, SMS credits, down to around $20 to $30 per month. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a
Mm-hmm.
big one, you know what I mean? So I guess for anyone watching this and they're trying to figure out how to, cut costs for their messaging, just implement WhatsApp and you'll be good. Because the thing is, the vast majority of the people here in Europe, they use WhatsApp anyway. You know what I mean? WhatsApp isn't as big in America, and that's why I think there wasn't really that much of a rush for them to implement WhatsApp back years ago. But now that they've done it, it just opens up a massive, massive audience for their European market. You know what I mean? And that's the thing as well, is like High Level is sold differently in America than it is in Europe as well. You know what I mean? Obviously down to the phone calls and the text message costs and everything, but also like the way you need to sell it. The thing is, the clients that are paying you in Europe, they're usually going to be on the lower side of things because for some reason they just don't like spending money. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like businesses in
Mm-hmm.
America,
Yes.
any business that I've worked with in America, they usually spend, on the higher end, your 397s and 497s a month, whereas the local or, the local type clients, they're usually on the lower side. So your 97s, 197s and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's a completely different market, you know.
And right now, are you focused on US or are you still working on Ireland?
So to be honest, yes, I'm sort of mainly focused on US companies because the thing is there's more money in the US. There's more businesses that are open to spending money in the US. That doesn't also mean that I'm not taking on any clients in Europe, like, UK, Ireland, any of that. I still
Mm-hmm.
obviously take them on, and if any opportunities come up, yes, of course I'll work with you. But in terms of like outreach and everything, yeah, America is usually the best place, you know.
Because from what I see, like everything is optimized for that market, but I feel like there should be a lot of competition in it. I personally don't know because I work in Lithuanian market, like in local,
Yep,
but
yep, yep,
like
yep.
in your experience, like is there a lot of it's a pretty dumb question, but like a quality competition, if you know what I mean, not like
Yeah,
15-year-olds calling you.
100%. 100%. Yeah, no, I completely get what you mean. To be honest, see beginners, like people that come into my, my free course or my program or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that, I usually recommend for them to start locally because the thing is, why would you sit down and cold call a bunch of businesses in a different country or in America when there's businesses right down the street that need it more than anyone, but they're just not getting pitched it because, no one is doing cold calls to companies in Lithuania. No one's doing that. They're mainly focused on the bigger markets, the US, the UK, Australia, and everything like that. So, yeah, like people in European countries, they're sitting on a gold mine. You just need to start. You just need to literally
I
sit
completely
down
agree.
and pull it up.
Yes.
You know.
because and also okay, I don't necessarily agree about the point that nobody cold calls. A lot of people cold call, especially in my country, but the services we offer are usually like simple Facebook ads. And
Mm.
I've heard a lot of podcasts. I don't know if you also do this, but people also offer, for example, for dentists, like we do Facebook ads plus cold calling to set appointments. Yes,
Yeah.
and like literally nobody in Lithuania does that. Like it's like mind blowing, It's
Mm.
like, and in
Yeah.
US it's like almost common practice. So it's really
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
interesting if you
100%.
follow the trends
Yeah,
that you can implement those in your country, which is a bit less
yeah,
developed.
yeah. 100%. What I meant by that was like there's no one in outside countries calling into Lithuania.
Oh,
I wouldn't
okay,
say, you
yes,
know what I mean?
yes,
Yes, of course there will be local people in Lithuania calling other businesses and
yeah.
everything, but in terms of like a foreign standpoint, stick locally because why would you want other people in other countries to, have your customers instead? They're your customers, they're local to you. You know what I
Mm-hmm,
mean? So why would you
mm-hmm.
not get them instead? You need
Yeah,
to focus
yeah.
locally.
And also
You
in
know?
European countries there's like language barriers, so a lot of people don't speak your local language.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yours is
yeah.
English, as I imagine, but for other countries it's not the case. Okay,
Mhm.
now moving on to rep management, I have one technical question. What about the data protection laws? I don't know if you have those in your country, but do like clients get concerned about that, like giving you the sensitive information, or do you like sign special agreements? Like, what do you do?
So yes, GDPR is a big one. Of course, in the European Union and everything like that. High level processes all of the data. They're all GDPR compliant.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what the GDPR like the conversion that is in America, but yeah, no, they have legal teams that make sure everything's all good. They have they have a bunch of servers and everything like that. So yeah, no,
Like
I've never really had
global,
any.
or you're talking
Yes,
about
high
what?
level.
Okay, okay. Because I've
Yeah.
seen that there is a separate license you can buy, like for $300, like medical stuff. Is it?
So that's HIPAA compliance that you're talking about.
Yes,
So
yes.
what that is, yeah, what that is, say for example, if you are a medical company, so you're dealing with like patient information, so like personal things about people, then what you do, I think legally you need to get the HIPAA compliance.
Mm-hmm.
What that is, high level, like come in and they make sure that like you're on like a dedicated server, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work in the medical industry. I don't have any medical clients, so I've never had to deal with that. That's why I've stayed away from it, to be honest. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I could see why that would be a pretty untapped industry as well, because if you need to pay for the HIPAA compliance, not many people's going to do it. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, and also about reputation management. So, in your one of your podcasts, I heard that you were talking about doing reputation management for hotels, that you walked
Yes.
into hotels. How did that work, if you can tell me?
Yeah. Okay, so how that one works is, and I actually did a masterclass with High Level recently on exactly that. So like walking into
Oh.
hotels and restaurants and everything like that. So yeah, pretty much how it works is if you're looking to sign clients, if you're looking to work with clients as soon as possible, I don't recommend sending a bunch of Facebook DMs and Instagram DMs
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
cold calls of course can work, but cold emails, it really takes a lot of scale and a lot of numbers. That's why to me, whenever I was thinking, right, what is the most sort of unique way that I can get clients for a service like software business? I was thinking about all the other ways that a lot of companies are, reaching out and working with people. And the first one that came to mind was walking in, literally just presenting who you are, because
Mm-hmm.
you got to think a lot of different industries do door-to-door sales. So solar panel companies will walk into companies and be like, listen, do you want solar panels? They even walk into, homes. They do B2C. So like, we're actually doing this like crazy solar panel deal, whatever. And I was thinking nobody is doing this in the software space. No one is doing this in the service space. So why not give it a try? And because these business owners are so used to getting cold called all the time or cold emailed all the time, they're more sort of susceptible to actually listen to what you have to say. You know what I mean? So that's why that method specifically works so well, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I have also maybe a dumb question, but you are like doing a hotel in every like small city, or are you like doing reputation management for a couple of hotels in your city? Like how does that work? Because there are websites like booking.com and stuff like that, and if there's a bigger city, so for example one hotel has like 1,000 reviews and others have like not a lot of reviews, like do you offer services for multiple hotels or only one hotel in one area? It's just out of curiosity.
So it really depends. Like, say for example, if I was working with a client and it was like a more higher ticket client, say it was on like the higher side of things, and I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted that deal to go through and close and everything like that, then I would do like an exclusivity sort of agreement, not like an agreement on paper where it's like we'll only work with you in the local area and stuff like that. It's usually verbal because I don't really think anyone can grow a business without trust. If you don't trust your customers, or your customers don't trust you, then you don't own a business. You do, but it's going to just, completely burn out eventually, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, I work with not only just hotels, but I work with a lot of different industries in a lot of different areas, not only local, towns and cities and everything like that, but other countries and everything. You know what I mean? Because that's the beauty of high level because it can be offered to any type of business in any country. You know what I mean? Every single type of company out there can use at least one of the features inside of high level,
Okay, okay. So this is pretty random, but coming back to your story. So you got your first salon, like your first salon lady. You did the reputation management. What was next? How did you grow? What was your journey?
Yeah. So I guess from there it just led to doing more walking into businesses and everything like that. I had started, walking into a lot more local businesses. I had started traveling to other cities and
Oh,
other, different areas and everything like that because why would I not do something that was working? You know what I mean? Why would like I had tried so much before that. I had done a bunch of cold calls, as you know. Cold email I hadn't really gotten around to yet because there's like an art to cold email and you need to set up like a bunch of different inboxes and make sure they're all warming up and everything like that. That's a whole, that's a whole discussion for another day. But I had done Instagram DMs, I had done messages and everything like that. So this was working. So I was just like, right, let's just do this and let's just go all in with this. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's how it went. You know.
okay, okay. And yeah, pretty nice. What did you do about agreements? Did you like shake hands and that's it, or did you sign any official forms? Did you get a lawyer? Like how did you overcome that?
So the good thing about like the software sort of industry is, you know, the key to behind software companies scaling so much is how sort of sticky they are. You know what I mean? It's like there's not really any need for service agreements or anything like that. There's no contracts really needed because it's not a $2,000 a month marketing agency ad retainer where it's like, we'll get you X amount of appointments. This is more so we'll set this up, it will run, just make sure that you're asking customers to go to the reputation management page and that's it, you know what I mean? So yeah, the deals are usually on, a verbal agreement, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know.
So yeah, what else did you? You have told me about reputation management. What other services did you offer and
Yep.
do you teach?
Yeah, so web design is another big one. Website design. The thing is with website design is everyone knows that they need a website, so you also need to adapt to that as well. You know what I mean? If you're using high level and you're only focusing on one specific service, yes, I know it makes sense to get really, really good at working with one thing, but it does so many other things and you're really leaving out so many other customers. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's all the one service software platform, so you can do multiple different things. So the web design stuff works really, really well. And in terms of like getting clients for website design, you can't really do this if you're running an agency and you're using like some other crazy platform like WordPress or Wix or Shopify where it takes sometimes days to get a website up and running. Because of the nature of high level and because there's tens of thousands of templates in there, if I reach to a business right now, so say for example, I was doing a bunch of cold calls, I would call that business and I would say, listen, I've went ahead. I noticed you didn't have a website. I've went ahead. I've already created you a website. Does it suit tomorrow for a quick 10 or 15-minute chat? And then that, say for example, then because not everyone's going to book in. Some people aren't even going to answer. Some people are going to say, yeah, not interested. Already have a guy making a website. Never call me again. Some stuff like that because just people do that whenever you're cold calling. The people that do agree then, say for example, it's today and then you have a meeting for tomorrow at some point. That gives you enough time to go into templates, download a template, grab their logo from their Facebook page or somewhere like that, upload it on there, change out some images, change out some text, and make it their own website. You can do that in 30 to 60 minutes, sometimes even less, depending on what you need to actually do and what you need to change. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that's a good hack. That's a good way to just get website design clients by just sheer volume of cold calling. You know what I mean? Because it's like not many people are going to turn down a free website which is already being created for you. More than likely, they just want to sit down and figure out exactly what it is that you've done or what, you're planning on doing, you know what I mean? Because they think you've invested this time into them. So they're going like, let's just try this guy out. Let's see what he has to say.
Hmm. And as I just understand, if even if you don't like the design, you can offer other templates and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, because high level has literally thousands and thousands. If they don't like the website, it's as simple as just going and downloading another one. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So another question: how do you network? How do you find like-minded people? Because it's pretty lonely out there, from what I see. There's not like a lot of people actually doing this. Like there's a lot of people trying to get into it, but actually doing it, not so much. How do you network?
Yeah. So networking is a very interesting one. Like I have a lot of people within my network. I have a lot of, people in my network that a lot of people know. I think the best way to network is to provide enough value online, like start a personal brand, start creating content and everything like that. You would also be very surprised at the amount of people that is extremely easy to get in touch with through a simple DM. You just need to depend on the fact that someone will be on their phone. If you want to
That's how I
talk
met
to,
you. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. It's and I get a lot of spam messages. You get all those bots and everything like that. So DMs can get missed, but obviously, senior DM was like, yeah, let me respond to this guy. So of course I went and done it, but yeah, like the vast majority of the people out there that you want to speak to, they're only a few connections away. You probably know some people that know some people that know some people that knows this person, you know what I mean? Or just simply drop a DM, you know what I mean? Like if there's anyone out there that you actually really want to talk to, you will find a way to do that if you really want to, you know.
Good tip. Good tip. And could you tell me a bit about your Dallas trip? So, as I understand, you went to Dallas to Go High Level conference. Like, what was the experience like?
Yeah, the high level was the Level Up Summit, which I went to. They do those every single year. It was the first time I was in attendance of that. I won an award and everything. Was on the stage. Very
Nice.
very cool experience. I met the three co-founders, Sean, Varun, and Robin. Met all the other high level team members and everything like that. They are a great company. It's a great community to be a part of. And when you're there, you're meeting a lot of people, you're networking with a lot of high net worth individuals, and you're learning different things about different ways you can get clients and different just marketing things in general that is going to make you a lot more money, you know what I mean? That experience was amazing. It was the first time I was ever in the States, ever. First time I was ever in America was Dallas in Texas. And yeah, it was pretty good, pretty interesting. um, and yeah, I definitely recommend people attend that event because high level as a company, they're only going to keep growing, and more people are going to see it, and there's going to be more eyeballs on it, which means more money, ultimately more revenue. You know what I mean?
And why were you invited? Like for like very good in performance, or what good did you do? Like, how did you win that award?
Yeah, so the award was down to like the actual coaching program that I run, so the amount of actual revenue generated for that.
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember receiving the email. It was like, yeah, you won this award. Come to Dallas, come get it. You know what I mean? Come on stage to our event, and yeah, I went ahead and did it, and yeah, I don't not that I regret anything in a way, but it was just like I don't regret not not going that trip. You know what I mean? It was crazy. It was amazing.
Okay, okay. This is from completely different sphere, but what advice would you give for your younger self or people who just starting out, like making money online? Like, what's the best pathway in your opinion?
Just dedicate 6 to 12 months doing one singular thing. So one service to one industry, just stick at something. A lot of people make the mistake, and I was the exact same, where you just bounce around different business models and different opportunities and everything like that. Once you start something, just close yourself off from all the other opportunities around you. You know what I mean? Like if you start a software company, don't look near any of these other flashy other business models. Or if you start drop shipping and you really are serious about that drop shipping store, don't look at other models. You know what I mean? Just dedicate yourself to something for 6 to 12 months. If it doesn't work, pivot what you're doing. Change up what you're doing slightly, And then if if you just keep going, you're not finding any success at all, then yeah, you probably started, the wrong opportunity, you know what I mean? So maybe look to do something else, you know what I mean? But it's really just down to dedicating yourself fully to something. But also what I mean by that is not just deciding, okay, I'm going all in on this agency, let me just work at it 2 hours every single week, and that's me. Like if you properly dedicate yourself to something, give it all the extra time that you can. Cut out partying, cut out, all this random not needed social events and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Going out partying and going out drinking and everything like that. Because if you're really, really serious about making a massive, massive change in your life and making a ton of money online and, traveling the world and doing all this kind of stuff, people don't do those things when they're starting out. You know what I mean? It's like people just dedicate themselves fully. They'll close themselves off from the outside world. Not that I recommend that, but it really just depends on how bad you want it. You know what I mean? And to be honest, bro, not everyone is cut out for entrepreneurship either. You know what I mean? Not everyone should start an online business. Not everyone should start a podcast. Not everyone should do what everyone's trying to do. You know what I mean?
Of
Um,
course.
it's only the people that actually make it and stick to it are the ones that actually, they're the ones that come out the other side, you know.
Okay. Now, coming from this inspirational part to another inspirational part, what are your biggest mistakes in your entrepreneurial journey? What were your biggest pivots and how did you overcome them?
I think it goes back to the same question is literally just dedicating yourself to it, you know what I mean? One of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest mistakes is just trying to make something fit that didn't fit, you know what I mean? It's like I was trying that agency for so while for so long. Yes, it was working. I was getting a few clients in the door, but I just could not scale it. I just couldn't really find a way to scale it. So once I then started the software and everything, that is when everything completely changed for me. So in terms of I wouldn't say a mistake because I think everything happens at a specific time for a reason, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But, I know for a fact if I had started using high level so much sooner, I would be so much further than I am right now. But you can't really look at things like that because, you know, there's no point looking at the past because you're not going that way. You know what I mean? You're not going towards the past. You're going towards the future. You know what I mean? So just make the use out of what you currently have right now. Yes, you probably you're watching this right now and you're thinking about starting a business and you've been thinking about it for the last 2 years. Yes, you probably should have started that business 2 years ago, but here we are. We're not 2 years ago. We're right here, right now. So the best time to start it was 2 years ago, but the next best time to start it is right now. You know.
You just read somebody's mind, bro. It doesn't matter if
Yeah,
it's 10 years from now, you just read somebody's mind.
yeah.
Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Also, going back to your business model, software as a service, what about client retention? How do you keep your clients happy? How do you
Yep.
keep them using the software, stuff like that?
Yeah. So one of the big things that I've noticed, see if you can keep a client on past the 90-day mark. So if you can keep a client on for 3 months, they will be with you for, the end till the end of time. You know what I mean? At that point, they have everything built out inside of their account. Their website's probably there, their entire email marketing list is there, their calendar is there, all of their automations are there, all their sequences. If you can keep a client for more than 90 days, then you are good. In terms of different ways to retain clients, it depends on the industry and it depends on what type of company and business you want to run. The type of business that I want to run is something that people know me as the expert. If people has something that they need built out or if someone has something that they really need help with, come to me. I don't care. I never really got the whole idea. And I know video editors do this a lot where, we'll edit this amount of videos for you per month, but it only includes X amount of revisions. You know what I mean? If you really, really wanted to keep customers and clients happy, yes, of course, there is a bit of a time restraint there. So it's a bit of a joke. You're going to have to cap it eventually. But, just make sure that you're doing everything you possibly can to keep your clients happy, whether that's a weekly call or whether that's like a daily check and just send them a text message. Once you start scaling, yes, of course, you're going to be limited on the time, but when you're beginning, you have all the time in the world. So why can you not pick up your phone and just call your client for 5 minutes every single day to make sure that there's nothing else that they need? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Good point. Good point. And what are your thoughts on future? What are your personal plans? And what do you think about your future? if I can ask a question
Yeah.
like this.
So, in terms of my future, I'm just gonna keep going on the trajectory I'm going at. You know what I mean? Keep growing both sides of it. So keep growing the actual business, but also the coaching and everything. That's my two main focuses for, for the foreseeable future. I don't know whether that's going to be, a few months, few decades, whatever. Or a few years, few decades, whatever. We'll have to see. Um, but for now, I'm just, focused on growing what I'm still currently doing. You know what I mean? I don't really want to change or pivot very much because when something is working, don't change it. You know what I mean? You don't fix what's not broken, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good point. And also, you as a, if I can call you like this, like a digital nomad, laptop lifestyle and all that stuff. Did you think of moving to some other country, or maybe you already did? Did you think of traveling the world, stuff like that?
Yeah. I'm here, there, and everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm traveling as much as I possibly can. I know your next questions probably be, where's the next destination? I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm trying to, while I'm young right now, I'm trying to just, get round and see every country that I can possibly see and get to and experience. You know what I mean? Because you can't really do these things whenever you're, 80, 90 years of age. What good is money to you then? So, while I'm making pretty good money right now, why not just spend a lot of that on traveling? And obviously I would never famish myself or have the business starve just because I want to go on a trip. If I need to lock in for a few months and make sure something gets done, yeah, I'll not travel. But yeah, no, I do enjoy a bit of traveling with my people and just going and being in the sun and everything. You'd be surprised at how good of a mood the sun will put you in. You know what I mean? A lot of people, if you're watching this and you're from like the UK or Ireland, you know how miserable things can get whenever it's just raining all the time or when the clouds are out. One of the best things you can do is just travel more and just get out more in the sun and just eat good food and stay fit. That's all you really need. You know.
Very nice, Jason. Very nice. Okay, and I give you now time to give your final message to the viewer. Maybe something you want to add from yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Yeah, right. If you're thinking about starting that business, just start it. Do not procrastinate. Don't hesitate. Start something right now. If something needs fixed, you can adopt along the way. You don't need to have the perfect business plan or the perfect business model or, the perfect plan in general. Just start something until something sticks to the wall. You know what I mean? That would be my closing remarks is just, if you're really serious about it, just go all in. Don't think twice about it. You can always change. You can always adapt later, you know.
Very nice. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah. Thank you very
And
much.
I will also add your social links to the description. So if anybody wants
Mhm.
to find you, we can find you in the description.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Sounds good. Thank you very much for having me, man. It was a good session. Thank you very much.